The Phillips curve represents the trade-off between unemployment and inflation, and it kind of has this downward U shape. So the Phillips curve moves when there is a shift in the demand curve, and the Phillips curve shifts when there is a shift in the supply curve. So if the demand curve were to shift right, like right here, then this is your GDP on the x-axis, and this is your price level. So if your aggregate demand shifts right, then your GDP is increasing, so your unemployment is decreasing and your price level is rising. So that is only going to be a movement on the Phillips curve. So it's going to move from A to C because unemployment is decreasing and inflation is rising. Now say that aggregate demand was here and then it shifts left, then what is going to happen is that now your GDP is decreasing and your price level has dropped, which means that your unemployment is increasing because your GDP level has decreased and your price level has decreased. So it's going to be a movement from point A to point B because unemployment is increasing and inflation is decreasing.
There's also a shift in the Phillips curve. Unlike when there's a shift in aggregate demand, there's a movement in the Phillips curve. So if aggregate supply shifts to the right, GDP will increase, price level will decrease, unemployment will decrease. So that is why the Phillips curve will shift to the left, because unemployment is decreasing and inflation is also going down because price level is going down. GDP is decreasing, unemployment is increasing, and price level is increasing. So that means that the Phillips curve will shift to the right because unemployment is increasing and the price level is increasing.
In the long run, the Phillips curve is perfectly vertical because the unemployment rate is fixed at 4 to 6%, and this is due to frictional and structural unemployment. So if you were to look at aggregate demand and aggregate supply in the short run, if aggregate supply were to shift right with your GDP decreasing and unemployment increasing and your price level decreasing, then when your short run Phillips curve decreases in the short run, in the long run essentially you're going to be at the same rate of unemployment, but now you're at a lower price level. So that's really what the long run Phillips curve demonstrates. And also if you were to look at a point on the short run Phillips curve in relation to the long run Phillips curve, like right here, point A would represent a inflationary gap, and point C right here would represent a recessionary gap.